internet came back again. Right, let's just wash hands with that. The last of our gochujang.
Yeah.
Does it come back again?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello. Small technological hiccup, folks.
Right, so I'm going to go and see how much I've lost.
Sorry if any of it's gone away.
That's okay. If it has, then I guess I'll just start.
Ah, dear. Keep that. So, 3 tablespoons of tomato ketchup. You can use any brand of tomato ketchup, but we could only find one, so we use that. 2, 3. Then we need, what do we need? I can hear the rice bubbling. That's good. We'll just ever so slightly out from underneath the cupboard. What happened? The internet just seemed to have a little burp and just stopped working for a minute. But we're back. Hello. I'm gently steaming myself with the rice cooker, which is a little foolish. And I forgot to cut out a couple of ingredients. So, you didn't miss much. Just myself and Mrs. Al looking at the internet, hoping it would come back to life. So, we've got our gochujang. Yes, no, it was us. So, it was there, then it wasn't there, then it was back again, then just sort of ummed and ahed and thought about it. And here we are again. So, just in the middle of making a basic sauce. We've used ketchup, we've used gochujang. Now it's, let's see, half a tablespoon of soy sauce. Whoops, nearly a bit too much. And we want half of honey. Ooh. And that's the coffee machine cleaning itself. That's automation for you. So, quite nice drizzly honey we've got. There we go. So, I appreciate, Andrew, unless you have to consider gluten-free foodstuffs. So far, so good. Probably apart from the... Is the sushi rice? No, sorry, you'd have to skip the sushi rice because that has got the dreaded gluten within it. 1 teaspoon sesame, as in open. There we go. And just because everything in life tends to be better with it, I'm going to add a little bit of pepper. I'll just tell you what it's quite mild actually. Not that spicy. There we go. Voila. Starting to get the basis of a small tofu sauce. Just there we go. For some reason it seems to be quite dark here today, so there we go. Now we move on to, honestly, the first part of this recipe that I found was combine those ingredients. Job done. Next comes tofu. And I don't quite know what to expect. Oh, this is gluten-free, by the way, Andrew, unless if you're interested in this recipe and can find yourself some gluten-free rice. suppose because it's just really here to absorb the flavours. What have I done with all of our scissors? Now I understand why Mrs. Owl despairs. I keep leaving things in the wrong place. There is an admittance for all to hear. Crash, bang, whop. So, what's for dinner for everybody? Apart from Mrs. Owl, of course, because she knows what she's having for dinner. She's watching me make it. Also, if this doesn't go well, I'm going to have to think of a backup dinner. So, what on earth are we... Ooh, hello. I suppose, has anybody actually here cooked with tofu before? It's not, I must admit, an ingredient that often has sprung to my mind. I think actually, in fairness, that's a brilliant... Best Pigeon 69. I love that. Best Pigeon, welcome, welcome. You've made me smile now, and that's a marvellous username. Oh, goodness gracious me. Best Pigeon, welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a lovely evening. This is the first time I've ever come to prepare tofu, and I'm realising it needs to be drained, I think. Hang on, let's... Yes, there's a bit of water. Right. So, how much do we need of this? Oh, well, I've absolutely butchered the pack, so I'm just going to... Dear me. Best Pigeon. So, also recently we've got Sexy Chicken, Best Pigeon, call me Dr. Doolittle. You are most welcome indeed, however. And what's Alice having? Chicken with peaches and pasta. Lovely. Actually, tell you, here's a question for anyone here. We are going to design at some point a recipe, a set menu, and do it all live. If you had to be pushed, what is the best chicken dish that you've ever had? The finest chicken dish. So I'm still thinking, I'm not quite sure, apart from saying chicken sandwich, because I mean I used to have them for years, which is just highly uninventive. Right, this recipe calls for 250 grams. So let's try and be exacting. We'll measure this out. So we've got our grammage. Gosh, what an unusual texture. Ooh. Oops. Some of it stayed in the bottom of the... Let's get that out. Ooh. Gosh, it's not got much by way of structure, this, actually. So, we need cubes of this, so clearly I'm going to have to re-tub this and use it in something. So how much... Oh, 5 grams, I haven't put anything on yet. Here we go, right. Oops. How much... No, why do you keep saying there's 7 grams on you? There's nothing on you. Behave yourself. So, our scales are playing funny with us. There's nothing on you, calm down. Right. That's 350. Whoops, daisy. And we want 250, so let's start. Slice straight down. Whoops, daisy. At this rate, it is falling apart so rapidly, I think I'm just going to do the lot. I had planned to be exact, but it's just... This is... What an unusual ingredient. There we go. Right, okay. Plan B, use the lot of it. And they want it into cubes. This isn't the most challenging, apart from its lack of structure. It's relatively... Still struggling to think what I make of it, actually. Right, apparently, the trick is to pat the moisture out of it, and we're going to need Well, it says a skillet, but I'm going to go for frying pan. Let's create a mess. Get our ingredients. Right. So. Don't quite know why you want less moisture, but it is very moist. So, whoops. I'm not quite sure how to describe this if you've never had tofu before. It's just sort of wibbly. It's like jelly. I imagine most people have had tofu before in their lives. You know, I've had it occasionally in a restaurant when it's popped up in a dish, but I've never cooked with it. So far it's being slightly awkward. So I'm just patting it dry. And let's just get that ready to fry off. And, oops, bloody Nora. Pardon my French, everybody. Dear me. My tofu is trying to escape. And 1, 2, 3. And here Mrs. Owl coming down, which may not bode well, only in the sense it might mean she's lost some of her work when the internet went. Is that right, my love?
Yeah, I've lost my work.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yep, an hour and a half swell. Gone. Nowhere to be found. That's my life.
Come and have a hug.
This dinner better be nice now.
Well, I've already promised live on camera that
I'll do it.
if this isn't nice, there might need to be a backup dinner. So you have a verbal promise.
I'm so annoyed.
I bet you are.
I feel like I'm going to have to do some now.
Later on.
Not later on, but
tomorrow or something.
Tomorrow or something like that, yeah. Just to make up for it. Like, it's all gone. I got through so much and it's all gone.
This is Al poking the tofu. It's the only problem with working when firms rely so heavily on remote accessing things.
You know what I think it was though?
What was it?
That you were streaming.
Do you really think that's what it was?
Well, I logged back on and my system is all like, wah!
Just because I'm streaming?
I think so. Maybe it's taking up too much bandwidth.
Well, maybe Andrulas might be able to help us. Maybe there's a way I can check. So if that is the case, I'll have to make sure that I do this outside of when you're working, because that can't really afford to do that. So I'm just going to...
This isn't very
No,
washed enough.
Okay, well I'll wash it again then. That's all right. I did make sure it was clear of bugs, but we haven't really got brilliant best bits. I mean, that's a bit ropey on the edges. We also had someone follow us with a brilliant name. Nearly.
I had Best Pigeon.
Best Pigeon. I love that. Oh.
Have you tasted the sauce?
Shall we taste it?
No, I don't want to taste it.
Right, shall I taste it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't think to taste it?
That's not actually that spicy.
Yeah, no, but is it tasty?
Very tasty.
Are you sure it doesn't just taste like ketchup? Because I don't like ketchup.
No, it doesn't taste just like ketchup. Do you want to try a little bit?
No, I've just said that. Should I put this away?
Yeah, we're done with that. I'm cooking little florets of broccoli. Broccoli. Of course you did. Now you see everything I do. The watchful eye of Mrs. Owl.
I was just really worried. It was so funny watching you open the tofu and then be like, oh, you have to drain it. Yeah.
It was new to me. It was new. So let's do as the recipe suggests and fry off gently. So I'm just going to turn this around. Bonk. Hello, folks. Right. And the rice is on its way. Which is lovely jubbly. Oops.
Those were the best days of my...
I'd love it if we got a copyright strike because it recognised you singing. Oh
The
yeah.
summer of best pigeon
69. Oh yeah. Enter guitar solo. Wang. Just a little.
I'm so annoyed.
I'll bet you are. It's not been the most straightforward day, and that's.
It's not been the most straightforward week.
No, it hasn't. To be fair, it has not. But I hope everyone else is having a good week. I mean, let's keep it positive, I suppose. We've had lots of mockers.
Yeah.
Since a nearish coffee shop that you can walk to from where we are, reopened its doors again. So we've been assisting a nearby local independent economy. So the next stage of this recipe is just to brown the edges of the tofu. Because it's otherwise a relatively straightforward recipe, this. So if it works, it's excellent. If it doesn't, it reinforces... what's going on? And Alice is having chicken and peaches and pasta. Andrulas has not, I don't think, said what he's having. I think because his monkeys are probably keeping him busy. Although he did express to me when I spoke to him earlier he would love to play something with it. Oh, excellent.
You would love to play some what?
Something as a group.
Overcooked? No. Okay.
How many can you play Overcooked with? I don't know, actually. That was a rhetorical question, and I wasn't actually expecting you to have the answer to it. I'm sorry.
It's very strange, but I've managed to find tofu in very random places. How did you prepare this?
Where have you found tofu?
Seemingly in the bag of rice.
Really?
And like over here?
Well, so far it's proved intriguing to prepare because I literally opened the packet and it ran away. Just went bloop.
Yeah. Also, you got the soft one.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Is there soft and hard tofu?
Well, yeah, you can get it in like different hardnesses and different structures.
Okay. Well, we have a plan to go to a particular...
Oh, look!
So
But where's it coming from?
I've no idea. We're being attacked by tofu.
I love that you like keep all the rubbish around. Do you need this? What are all these?
This is what I was patting the tofu dry with.
Okay, so you don't need them now, right?
Not anymore now.
You don't need to flip them that often, I don't think.
It says brown on all sides, but
Yeah.
I think I'll let the first side brown.
Did you put oil in it?
It says put a little bit of oil in.
There seems to still be a lot of water in there then, doesn't there? Because it's more like...
It's more...
You might need to drain
Hang
off
on.
some of the liquid.
Yeah, it's maybe...
Those were the best days of my life. Oh, you was the summer of 69.
There, got rid of a bit of it.
Well, you need these now, probably not, right?
I may do, believe it or not.
What else is... What's going on?
Right now, everyone is, I think, quietly watching as tofu bubbles away. As I was proclaiming, this is our quiet little corner of Twitch where nothing really dramatic happens. Alice says it's good to hear Mrs. Owl singing.
Thank you. I can't respond because I don't have the app.
Oh.
I don't want to have another
No,
app
that's
on my
okay.
phone.
You've got a lot on your phone. You don't
I mean,
need
I
everything.
don't. I have like 3,000 photos or 4,000 photos that I need to get off it. Can I chop like some of this?
Yes, please. Just for the recipe, folks, if anyone's following it, Mrs. Al's just going to chop some... well, there should have been spring onions, but I couldn't get any, so...
Should I just chop one?
Yeah, start with one. I mean, it's a dressing rather than like a formative part of the meat.
Yeah,
so.
no, but we can make it part. Like green onion oil is like a big thing in Korea. Yeah, so...
Well, do you want to just chop one and we'll throw it in? Let's just improvise. Why not, folks? Let's go crazy. This is how crazy this part of the Twitch verse is. You've got cool cups of coffee. And it's yes, Alice. Funnily enough, I bought one. Alice was saying a data card for photographs.
Ah.
We've just done that. Just done that.
Oh, we also bought a hand mixer with a dough hook attachment.
Oh, we did.
And it's the cutest thing ever.
In fact, because this is now quite loud, let me just turn off that background calm music.
Yes.
There we go. Because that's sizzling quite loudly. So what we've got around here somewhere. There we go.
Yeah, watch the hooks come out.
Ha-ha! And it's got.
So cute.
It's lovely, isn't it? Oops. They're not actually
Yeah,
in.
no,
Right,
they're not
okay.
in. I said that.
You did just say that, didn't you? Sorry. Right, hang on. Plus an attachment with a dough hook to make our lives a little bit easier.
Yeah. For making all that good, sweet, amazing milk bread. Okay, here's
we're starting to get browning. Jolly good.
do you want some onion?
Yes, please. Go on, let's just throw it. Watch out. Spot of it. Hey, thank you. So, I like this because I like to improvise with recipes, and I think it's fair to say you normally like to follow them to the letter, and I feel you're coming on to my side of the...
I'm not.
Oh.
I've seen how Koreans cook enough that this feels suitably within the realms of following the recipe.
Okay. I thought you were in my camp there.
No, I do not like
improvisation.
No.
But it's funny because you like jazz, so long as others are improvising.
I do like jazz, but when I had to do it with
your flute,
I wasn't very good at it. I'm better at classical.
So I don't know if you heard that. It may have been that the internet went, but when the best pigeon arrived, it reminded me of sexy chicken. And it reminded me that I have to determine and decide what is the sexiest chicken recipe I can cook for when I do the set menu. I still don't know. Alice, any thoughts? So you've cooked, you are a chef extraordinaire, or Andrew, alas, I know you're there too. Any thoughts on the best ever chicken dish? That's a much needed cup of coffee. Oh, our rice is nearly done. I think this could do with more pepper.
Okay, here you go.
Thank you. Oh, should I put some Korean chili flakes on? Or is that risking it being too hot?
If you want, you can.
Maybe a smattering.
Here you go. Let's not put this on here because of that.
Oh, good point. So I'm only going to put a few on. I know the Koreans like it hot. That, however, for me, will be.
That's a tricky.
Got lots of yeah, that's the thing. Chicken is so versatile. It's like I really don't know what my favourite is. And I'm a man that ate chicken sandwiches for about 7 years straight, but I can't really make a chicken sandwich. I suppose I could make an incredibly sophisticated chicken sandwich.
No.
No, not good enough.
No.
How's the broccoli looking? Can you have a look for me? Good.
Oh, I'll tell you, one of the chicken dishes I really liked, and I find chicken quite boring sometimes.
Yeah.
It was at TGI Fridays, so that's a bit embarrassing.
No, but inspiration comes from anywhere.
They did chimichurri chicken.
Ooh.
So it was like chicken breast with the chimichurri sauce on it, and it was so delicious.
Okay.
But when I looked up chimichurri, it says that they put coriander in it, and I was like, well then I
That
wouldn't
can't
have
be
liked
right.
it.
You don't like,
So it must have been an
Alice says
alternative.
salt and bocca is a firm favourite.
Yeah,
that's
that
true.
is good.
Right, it says you only need 2 to 3 minutes per side. I would have thought it would have browned more than this. Do you think I should just wait until it's...
Just wait until you're happy with the brown.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, this is genuinely, apart from the fact I've been faffing and chatting and whatnot, it's actually really quick if I knew how to do tofu, because it's just technically, I don't know what you think. Like the next bit says, take this all out, put the sauce in, warm it up, put the tofu back on top, and then stir it in. Follow it. I just put the sauce in.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know why they've said it. It seems an unnecessary step to me.
Well, we'll soon find out. Yeah. I really hope that I like this because I'm going to be so disappointed.
I love it when it makes sense.
You didn't put it on for quick cook, did you?
No, I did a short brain.
Okay.
I just put it on as soon as we started streaming.
I'm not going to be shocked.
Nope, just your hoodie. Salt in vodka then, there's a possibility.
I don't think that it's sexy.
No, I think that's the thing. The username is sexy chicken. It's almost like you have to think of the chicken dish and Barry White singing starts to happen.
What if you... No, you can't Google that, can
no,
you?
You need to vote. No problem, Alice. Toodaloo, give our very best to her.
Bye.
You've got this working on the Echo show in the office. I'm coming to you live inside your own office. Did you hear the question about chicken, Andrew? Alas, what do you think? Think Barry White singing levels of sexy chicken. Coco Van? No, it's quintessential.
To be honest, like I think
I'm happy with.
When you say something like that, you sort of I think some of the bits could be a bit bland.
Okay.
I think it's something that's like a bit naughty that you wouldn't necessarily like it. You
bringing it for a ringside. Yeah, it's something a bit.
Like if you could eat like the world's greatest fried chicken, I think you'd describe that as sexy chicken.
Well, maybe do I need to do that? Do I need to, like, I don't know, a southern gumbo deep fried chicken?
Try and do the karaage with you as well.
Could do. I mean, that was a pretty darn good thing. Sorry, Andrew, what we were talking about was there's a user who's followed us with the most magnificent username. Sorry, I do take it off too much. His name is Sexy Chicken, and we're trying to think of a dish that is suitable to that name. So when you think of it, you think, yes, that's Sexy Chicken, which is a hard moniker to hit. There we go.
Did you ever try the karaage chicken in the air fryer? Or did you
we've yet to do that.
Okay.
Good?
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Have you tried it?
Nope. Want to try it?
No. I'm really scared that I'm not going to like the texture or...
Well, I'll be honest though, we're both in this together on this one because...
I know, but you'll eat anything.
So,
it makes more sense to use a big spoon.
Andrew has said, Kuchen chicken. Is that a German dish?
It makes more sense to use a big spoon. Stop it.
Yeah, you want to take a teaspoon out? There we go. We are now attacking the tofu with our spoon. Go and, yeah, okay. Go and run that under some cold water. Did you see the little dance I did when you joined the realms of Twitch? I did do a little dance.
Oh yeah, I did.
Wasn't the greatest ever dance in the world, but it was my dance. Okay, here we go. So we're just going to let that gently bring you back in, Andrew and anyone else who happens to be here. Oh, that's looking pretty appeasing. Appealing even. Appeasing. Are you appeasing the tofu gods? Right. And that's it. I mean, in terms of prep, it's... And then we're just going to dress it with a little bit of of the onions.
Do you want me to chop a
Yeah,
onion?
I'll just chop a bit more, and then.
Maybe I'll halve this one.
Aha, and that's our broccoli ready. Let's get some plates together. Thank you. Beep, beep, indeed. We can leave them in there safely, I think. Go. So, if you're in your office, Andreas, will I hazard a guess correctly that you might be doing university work? Having done the day job, the child minding, and put your monkeys to bed?
I'm just so scared to try it.
Well, don't worry, I'm going to eat it first, so if I reel back in disgust...
Yeah, but you're not going to be... Will you, like, consider whether I will like it?
Yes, I will. And honestly, we've never done this before, so if it genuinely is a non-starter, then, you know what, we've let people know.
No, other people might like it. It's just I don't even like ketchup. And I don't think I've ever eaten tofu.
You are very brave to be doing the in due course hot ones. I think you deserve a lot of more. It will be worth it in the end. Just keep slugging away. We're here in the background. We support you with your university work. Give you re-encouraging applause. Keep going. As the Koreans would say,
Fighting!
Fighting! And as North Korea would say, bombing! No, that's...
Oh my god.
Sorry, that got political. Sorry.
Too controversial.
Sorry. The inner politics slipped out there.
Right. This little pile.
Yeah.
This can go in the fridge.
Okay.
You want me to put out some rice?
Yeah, how do you want to do this? Because do you want just to put some bits out and then we'll sort of formal it into the lettuce leaves and give it a try, or...?
You just do that yourself.
Okay. Well, I've got some plates out, but we could always just use one of them to put some stuff on and...
No. Give me a plate.
Give me a plate. There we go. Yes, Andrew, I recommend this. I think provided you keep the steam away from the monkeys, it's a great little addition to the kitchen. This, I really, really like it.
Depends how much rice that you eat.
That's true.
If you don't eat a lot of rice, there's no point.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you don't want to be...
Oh, actually, we could put a little chopped seaweed on the top of this too.
Oh, yeah, we could.
Should we do that?
Yeah, sure. Let's just...
Shall we try this first?
There's rice
right.
left.
Okay, let's turn that off. That's done enough.
You've got the bigger...
I've got the bigger one, right.
Yeah.
Sorry about the earthquake cameras. I'm going to pivot you around again.
Should we get the broccoli out?
You're going to get one when you can afford it. If I ever see... Yes, let's get the broccoli out. If I ever see it on reduced, I will shout. Loudly, considering that we're here and you're there. Okay, right. Raw indeed.
You're so stingy with your broccoli.
No, I wanted it to look sort of delicate and...
No, I mean, why isn't there more?
Well, again, I wanted it to be delicate and nice. Right.
Okay, fine.
Pop it down. So I'm taking the large one, am I?
Yes.
Right, so shall I do this first and then tell you what it's like? Right, okay, let's move things out of the way so folk can see. Let's not put that there because that's right over where it's been hot. Let's do that.
Yeah.
This is Al is being practical and clever. Do you want to do that with yours? And then I will move that out the way entirely, actually, because that's the better idea. Right, are we ready, folks? Anyone who might be here? Right. Let's pan in. Can we... Oh, it's not low enough. Oh, come on, camera.
I'll just move the plate further away.
Right. Pardon me, my love. I'm going to shuffle. I'm going to shuffle. So I work better from the right, so if I do it...
So rude.
I'm not rude. I'm going for... This could kill me. We don't know. So let's just put a little bit of... I'm going to just use my hands. So, spot of rice.
You need to put the tofu on your plate.
I was going to put it straight on top.
No, you should present.
Okay, right, in that case, pop some on. And then I'll get a spoon and then I'll put it in there. There we go. That's a pretty looking thing. Okay, so then I'm going to pop some on top of there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't. You wouldn't have put. You shouldn't have put that much rice and that much filling.
Well, I like rice. And calls for little sesame seeds. And I'm going to put in...
That's too much.
I am hungry.
You're meant to be able to wrap it like fully.
There we go, folks. Num 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 num. Right. That's really good. You're going to go read a book. Toodaloo, Andrews.
Bye.
Give my best to Ava. That's really nice.
Yeah?
Mm.
Try the tofu on its own.
Mm. I describe it as quite soft, but not unpleasantly so. It's not like I'm thinking there's no texture to this whatsoever. Oh, we love you too, Ava.
Aww.
We both love you. Bless her little heart. I can pan the camera back up because Mrs. Owl was sensible. Just move the plate. What do you think?
The texture is unique.
It's... I mean, I don't find it unpleasant, but I think if you didn't like soft textured foods, this would be a problem for you. But then again, I suppose if you didn't like soft textured foods, you probably know tofu's not for you.
Well, no, but you can get it in different... Like, this one is actually a soft one.
I think this would be much better with a harder tofu. I think it would have more structure and more bite to it.
The flavour's okay of the sauce.
Yeah. Not too hot?
No. That part's really nice. Like, you could... The heat part's nice, but I think the sweet is too much.
Could it do with less ketchup?
Yeah.
That's a good note.
Because I don't... Well, but also I don't like ketchup, and that's why I wanted us to get a more natural one.
Yeah.
So that it wasn't like Heinz, which is usually just full of...
Additives.
And full of sugar.
However, I'd call that a success. For the most part.
Yeah.
Right. Well, in that case, it's been a little quiet stream this evening. So if anyone has... Thank you to everyone who followed us and joined our little community of eaters. You're all very welcome, as ever. Thank you, Alice and Andrulas. I think we'll take this point to probably just go and
Eat.
have our dinner. And Mrs. Alice tucking away at the rice in the background. So we'll take a couple of little pictures. We'll put the recipe up. I think... No, actually, I'll wait. I won't put the recipe up yet because I think I'll tweak it first. I'll maybe do it again with a better tofu, a better tomato sauce, less of the tomato sauce.
Yeah. You could definitely up other elements of it.
More gochujang?
Yeah.
What's interesting though...
Maybe more soy.
You say about not liking heat, but that's hotter than most of the things that we'll probably put in the Hot Ones challenge. Alice is here. Mr. Penn says when people do tofu, they lose on MasterChef. Well, don't worry, we're not on MasterChef, so we have not lost. And we have dinner.
And maybe they're just not doing it right.
Yeah, we've come to the conclusion that this type of tofu is too soft. It's not bad, but it can be better.
I'll try one.
But I think a slightly harder tofu will have a nicer texture compared to the rice, which is already nice and soft and sticky. And the lettuce is fresh from the garden. It's nice, but it's not sort of colossally crunchy. So
no, it's not. That's not.
I'm just saying, I think the harder tofu will give a nicer texture. And the sauce needs a tweak.
And the sauce is too sweet. I also think it's the addition of honey.
Do you think? Maybe
Yeah.
just take the honey out.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. Some useful points, I think. We'll definitely do this again. But I think in that case, we will, as I say, we will plate up. We will go and have dinner. So to Mr. Penn and Mrs. Penn and Drew Alice and everyone else who's dropped in, have a lovely evening. I know this is a short one, but it's midweek. Tomorrow we're going to play the computer game Overcooked, which is more cooking, but on a computer. And we have to defeat a giant evil meatball by serving it many dishes of food.
Oh, that means we can't play it tonight now.
We can play it tonight. We'll play it tonight.
I don't know.
We'll see. Hey, who knows? Maybe we'll be back. Maybe we'll do another one. High five. Yeah. All right, folks. In that case, toodaloo from us. All the very best. You'll either see us later or you'll see us tomorrow. Until then, have a great evening and bye for now.
Bye.
I'm dropping my tea towel. I can't turn the thing off.